Grand Rising, everybody. So I'm talking about today's talk because it really concerns me how much fear there seems to be about the changes that are being made, at least in our country right now, but also just things that are happening all over the world. And I know a lot of people are, you hear people saying end times, this or that. And if you're Christian, then you probably relate to the book of Revelations. But before I go into this talk, I'd like to share a moment that I had when I was in my 20s, when I had my first awakening. And I got a book from my mother called Be Ye Transformed. It changed my life. And one of the chapters talked about the book of Revelations, and it made so much sense to me because it's like, okay, what is a revelation? A revelation is here. So, I hope you can, if it doesn't resonate with you, I understand. Don't force it. I won't stay on it long. But all these things, all these visuals in that chapter, to me, it resonated with me that those are monsters in your head, like fears. Fears become monsters. But let's move on. I don't want to push people to have to hear about something they don't want to hear. But what I do want to say is, and please forgive me, I had a huge download while meditating last night, so I had to write a lot of stuff down. I'm not going to go through all of it, but I do want to hit some finer points. And with the beginning, our ignorance is not going to save us. And the answers that we seek are inside of us. And I know, a lot of people are like, oh, people say that all the time. It's cliche. It's the truth. Everything that we need, all the answers that we need to improve our lives, to improve life on this planet for mankind, are inside of us if we're willing to listen. And, we can no longer afford to stay ignorant about the fact that we have to make these changes for mankind ourselves. We can't, and this is not putting anybody down, but it doesn't serve us. It does not serve any of us on this planet to sit and wait for someone else to do the saving, to put a cape on, show up, and change the world. We each have our role in this. We each have a role to play. It made me think of when I was a kid, my parents bought me an ant farm. And I remember I put the ants in they gave me ants, a package of ants to put in this farm. And I watched them, and they had a whole world in this little, glass box. They made their little tunnels. They went to get their food, It was their world. It was all they needed. But we're not an ant farm. But it's very easy to be on this planet, to live like we live, and act like we are in an ant farm. We're in this bubble where, we go to work, or we don't. We go out, we go to the store, we do this, we do that. We have our relationships. And there's nothing beyond that. There's no look. There's no reflection beyond these things. That's like living in an ant farm, if you consider it. That, we're not looking beyond the greater aspect of what we are connected to. And I want to touch also on what I said yesterday. Yesterday, part of that was, this whole separation thing. The fact that, we separate ourselves, us against them, me against you, it doesn't serve us. As Martin Luther King once said, we're all in the same boat now. We are all on this planet. We are all experiencing the same things. We are all experiencing the same pain. And the only way that we can get beyond this is to be willing to accept and embrace that we have a role to play, and that the answers aren't as far and impossible as we can often believe. A lot of times when we're, it's easy to be caught up in fear. The fear of, These things might happen to us. This might happen, that might happen to us. What are we going to do? The fear, actually, this is the thing that the Matrix movie talked about, which is true. Once you are caught up in your fear, you are nothing more than a battery. And often you're a battery to somebody. This can be on a personal level, where people are going to take advantage of your fears. They want you to be fearful so they can siphon off your energy. That's the whole energy vampire thing that everybody talks about. It doesn't work if they can't control you and make you fearful. They can't manage your emotions. It's the same thing on the grand scale. If you're fearful, you can't possibly reflect on what you can do to make an improvement, to make a change, to remove yourself from where you are, to remove mankind from where it is, a problem it has. I would imagine if you ever talked to anybody who was not just a scientist, but an inventor. An inventor always has to think outside the box. Always. And they think outside the box in order to discover a solution to a problem. We all have to be, what was the word I just used? Shoot. I can't think of it now. Okay, sorry. I'm not perfect. But inventors. We all have to be inventors. That's the word. You know, my dad, when I was growing up, he would spend lots of time in the basement trying to invent stuff. I thought it was the funniest thing, especially after, as an adult, I saw the movie Beauty and the Beast and saw how her dad was doing the same thing, trying to, create. That creative side of us is everything. That is what helps us catapult ourselves out of whatever we don't want to be in and enter into another kind of world, another kind of life where we do. Let's all reflect on being, and there I lost the word again. Let's all think about how we can create a better place for mankind instead of expecting a handful of people to do this for us. It's really up to us. And on that note, I'm going to let you go. If you liked what I said today, please like and subscribe. And February is around the corner now. It's next door. It's not even around the corner. I'm going to do a series on self-love. And I hope you will join me for that. And I'll talk to you soon.